every day you come on and you spout all these words like lies and, and morons and etc.
Don't use the word moron, actually. It's very much a word I studiously avoid.
Not far off.
Although I am, if you insist, I am prepared to make an exception in your case. But carry on.
Okay, so we give 350 million. You've just gone through all the figures. The net figure's probably 200 million. The remaining 150 million goes to various scientific projects and farming and lots of kickback to people who support the EU and further their agenda. So,
for example,
when we know,
for example,
well, I just said like farming, scientific research, and various.
But for example, who gets kickbacks?
Well, people who support the EU. Most of the money.
The farming community came out quite strongly against it, despite the advice of the NFU. So who gets the kickbacks that supports the EU?
Well, that's my belief. But
we're not talking about beliefs, are we? We're talking about fact. We are at the point you just made about kickbacks and the EU support. So who are you talking about, Ian?
I think a lot of the money is. But anyway.
But who are you talking about, Ian? Who are you talking about?
Oh, you're doing it again, aren't you?
I know, asking questions and insisting you back up your quotes, beliefs and quotes. But rest assured, I'm not going to call you a moron. So what are you talking about when you describe institutions? Institutions that get kickbacks?
200 million.
Institutions that get kickbacks, Ian.
James, you don't want to make people, express their opinions on your show.
I'm repeating your words back to you. I'm repeating your words back to you and asking you to explain yourself. You can say I can't, and then we'll carry on.
The money that comes back,
yes,
I've said in the past, is kickbacks to people who support the EU.
For example,
and that's just my opinion.
For example,
you can do whatever you like.
For example,
I'm not going to give any examples because I'd like to get to my point.
Okay, don't give me any examples, but carry on. You're definitely not a moron.
That's my opinion. Okay, yeah, you call me what you like. That's your defence mechanism, isn't it?
No, you're definitely not a moron.
They disagree with you.
You're definitely not. We haven't disagreed yet. You've told me some beliefs, and then we both agreed that you can't back them up. What have we disagreed about?
Right, okay. So we have 350 million at our disposal. Now, if the government at the time decides to continue to fund all those projects, then the net figure will remain at 200 million or thereabouts.
What project?
Whatever.
What project?
Well, God, James, can I make my point?
Yes, if you just have to back up the words that you use, what projects?
Look, I'm not an expert on what this money funds. I know.
So what are the projects? Just give me one project that you're talking about. One project.
All sorts of stuff. It goes to medical research. It goes to community projects.
So you want to cut medical research?
Sorry?
You want to cut medical research?
No, I didn't say that, did I?
Well, you did. You said if we don't fund these projects, and I said what projects, and you said medical research, and I said so now you don't want to fund medical research.
But I didn't. Yeah, but I'm not saying that at all.
So what are you saying, Ian?
At the time,
what are you saying?
Well, if you let me talk, I can say it.
But I need to clarify so that I can understand what you're saying. You just said that we won't fund these projects. I said what projects? You said medical research.
I didn't say we won't fund them.
You did, mate.
I said. See, this is your tactic, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Repeating back your own words to you and asking you to explain them. Do
you want me to start again?
Yes.
Right, okay, 350 million, approximately 150 million debatable, comes back in various projects, assorted projects. The government of the day has the option to... Oh, there you go again.
Yes, well, we've started again, so now you can tell me what the projects are.
Oh, James, you are so...
Oh, Ian, come on, mate. It's really easy. Here's the thing, right? If I said, Ian, there's all these projects, and you said, what projects, I would tell you.
Do you think people buy this tactic? Do you think people don't realise what you're doing?
What am I doing, Ian?
Well, you're trying to humiliate and bully your caller.
No, I'm not, Ian. I'm asking you to explain your own words.
Coercing, as far as I'm...
So what projects, mate?
There you go again.
Asking you to explain your own words. When you say, am I going to let you finish, do you mean I'm going to let you talk...
Well, I haven't got to the point yet.
In a way that you can't explain, and I'm not going to challenge you in any way.
Is you continue
No, I will do that, actually. I'm just going to be quiet. I'm going to be quiet now, so you fill your boots. Go.
Right, so 350 minus 150, they have the option to continue all those projects with that money or not to. But if they decide not to, then we have £350 million. It's there. You know, when we leave, it's there, basically. Doesn't matter what the economy does. If we stayed in, they would have to find that money anyway. So that money is then available. So it's not fictitious, it's real. Okay, so we have that money, basically, to choose to invest in the NHS. So it's not fictitious, so that makes you a giant carp, if I'm a goldfish. You just spout the same stuff every day. You know, it's not a lie. It absolutely isn't a lie. So there is money available. Now, whether they can cover the whole bill with that 350 million or not is not the point. The point is that we will have an enormous amount of money that at the moment does us no good because it goes off to the EU. Some of it comes back in to support EU-funded projects, which further their agenda, in my opinion, and I'm not going to prove it. And that's the point. It's not fictitious. Over to you. Go on, James.
I'm still listening.
Okay, well, that's my point. So you finally let me make it. But, you know, it's ridiculous. It's painful listening to you sometimes on the show because you're not a professional at all. You don't let people make their points.
Well, you've made your point now.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
So I do let people make their points.
Eventually.
Okay, so now what are the projects that we're not going to pay for anymore?
Confuse them.
Ian, what are the projects that we're not going to pay for anymore?
Yeah, here you go again.
Well, could you just tell me now?
Well, some of them are scientific, some of them are community projects.
So but just give me some examples, mate.
Farming, it goes to all sorts of stuff. Well, I don't have to give you examples.
I think no, you don't. Of course, you don't have to. But if you don't want to sound ridiculous, you do.
No, not at all. I don't sound.
So just one example.
I only sound ridiculous.
Nothing.
Gullible.
Come on.
Follow you. And
Ian?
What?
Anything?
What?
Anything?
James, I'm going to go to
the project. Okay, mate. Have a great day. You're definitely not a moron.